Doing that is gonna help you maintain a lean body, a healthy body, and a confident mind. Hey man, one of the toughest things to do once you become 40, so I'm talking if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, is not only getting leaner, but it's staying leaner. All right, so in this video, I'm gonna tell you how to stay lean after 40. Because at the end of the day, a lot of guys are really motivated initially. If you're starting out at 30% body fat, you realize you gotta get that excess body fat off if you wanna live a healthy life and just an overall better lifestyle. All right, that's gonna make a big difference. But getting from 30 to 20 is one step. The next step is how do you maintain that 20 or even leaner status, which is gonna keep you healthy longer. And that's what we wanna focus on. So the main thing I'm gonna tell you right now is you gotta look at your nutrition. So I'm gonna give you several different things, but let's look at some of the things you can do with your nutrition habits. My programs are designed around carb cycling. So what is carb cycling? The world today, society today, everyone's demonizing carbohydrates as if they're going to make you unhealthy or make you fatter or anything like that. That's not the case. You just have to make sure, one, you're eating the right amount of carbohydrates. You're eating them when you need to eat them. And the third thing you want to focus on is making sure you're eating the right type of carbohydrates. So you don't want the sugary stuff. All right, the pastries, all those type of carbs, the white breads, you don't want that stuff in your nutrition. So, but here's how I structure my carb cycling, and then I'll get into some of the carbohydrates I'm gonna recommend. Basically, all of my guys in my program are working out 4 days per week. So if you do any of my programs, most of the ones out there that I've designed are designed on 4 days a week weight training. That allows for 3 days of off and recovery time that's gonna help you rebuild and also keep those joints safe, your shoulders, your knees, elbows, all those things. So you can actually work out 5 days per week. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you do 5 days a week, that's typically where I want you to max out. 4 to 5 days per week is optimal. Anything over that tends to lead to a little overtraining, especially older men, because again, as an older guy, you're gonna be dealing with lower testosterone in your body. That's one thing. Your ability to recover from workout to workout, week to week, is also gonna be a little diminished now that you're older. So you gotta take all of those things into account. All right, so back to the carb cycling. 4 days a week weight training, then I'm gonna recommend you eat complex carbs on those 4 days because you're earning them. You need them for fuel, energy, recovery, all those things. So basically what I want you to do is make sure you maintain equal protein throughout the day, 7 days a week. Fats are one of those things that it's an energy source as well. You got 2 energy sources that your body likes. They prefer carbs, but they can also work with fats. So I typically like to do more carbs than fats. It's a little healthier because it's easy to overeat fats and get a lot more calories. And there's also a lot of unhealthy fats that you can overeat. So you do need some good fats, some good saturated fats for optimizing testosterone levels. But what tends to happen is people tend to go way above and over what they actually need, which leads to more unhealthy fats in your body and again, a lot more calories, which is gonna make it really difficult to get that excess body fat off, all right? So the carb cycling I like to do is basically 50 grams of carbs for 3 meals. That's a rough estimate based on the average guy. So we're talking about 50 grams is a cup of rice. It's a large baked potato, all right, cup of beans. So we're talking about that amount as far as a portion. And you're gonna wanna do that 3 times throughout that day. So 150 grams of complex carbohydrates on the days you work out. You can break that up however you want to. You can do 1 meal of 100 carbs, 3 meals of 50 carbs. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Just get those 150 grams of carbs and you're getting those 4 days per week because again, you're doing resistance training 4 days per week. So that's one of the best ways to ensure you're getting the adequate amount of complex carbs, but it's also a way to ensure you're not overdoing the carbs because those 4 days a week training means the other 3 days you're off, and on your off days, you don't need the complex carbs, so you don't eat the complex carbs. So you're eliminating the rice, potatoes, beans, quinoa, the breads and the fruits. Eliminate those on those days, but the other 4 days, those are free game. So you can have your multi-grain breads, you can have the rice of your choice, potatoes of your choice, oatmeal, quinoa, multi-grain breads, toast, all those types of things are gonna be really good on those days, and fruits are really great on those days. So you can have those the other 4 days per week. So that's how my carb cycling works. If you're not working out, you're not earning those carbs. Your body doesn't really need that excess fuel. If you are working out, especially with my programs, and you're working out with intensity. If you're working out with intensity, you need that fuel, not only to fuel your workout, give you that extra energy, but also to help optimize recovery afterwards and to optimize your testosterone production and your growth hormone production. So that's how I like to cycle my carbs. It's pretty simple that way. All right, the days you're not eating your complex carbs, and then I'll get onto these other tips here in a minute, but the days you're not eating your complex carbs, so again, 3 days a week, you're not working out, you don't have those complex carbs, but veggies are free game. High fibrous carbs, broccoli, asparagus, cauliflower, green leafy veggies, cucumbers, all of those things are free to eat 7 days a week. So you can eat your veggies, so load up on your veggies. I'm only talking about the complex carbs when I'm talking about the carb cycling strategy. So you're eliminating complex carbs 3 days a week, but you're continuing the fibrous carbs 7 days a week. All right, so hopefully that's clear. Second thing you wanna make sure you're doing, stay active, man. I'm talking 10,000 to 12,000 steps daily. That should be pretty much minimum. That should be how much activity you're getting. And a lot of guys today are very sedentary due to computer jobs, computer working, desk jobs, office jobs, all those things. So if you're sitting a lot, then try to get up and take little intermediate breaks as often as possible just to get some more steps in. Wake up 20 minutes early, go for a 20-minute walk in the morning to get your day started. Every evening, another 20-minute walk. That's 40 minutes of walking that you can add pretty easily throughout the day, and just do as much as you can in between that, just to make sure you're getting those 10 to 12,000 steps. That's gonna be perfect as far as just maintaining more activity throughout the day, all right? Another thing I like to do, and this isn't something that you need to do year round, it's not necessarily for everybody, but intermittent fasting. Very popular now. A lot of people think they got to intermittent fast every day. You don't necessarily have to incorporate it every single day, even if you utilize intermittent fasting. So you can also just do that 3 or 4 days per week just to kind of ramp up your progress and help you stay lean. All right, so it's one of those things that's going to keep you from overeating. So that'd be a big difference. The only thing I will recommend for you guys though, if you got a high activity job, so you're a construction worker, you're on the move a lot, you need some extra fuel. If you have that type of job, then eat your breakfast, don't intermittent fast. However, again, a lot of people, a lot of older men are very sedentary with their work, with their jobs now. So if that is you, you don't need to basically eat a breakfast with some complex carbs. You don't need to eat a breakfast, period, and then go straight to your office and then sit for 4 hours before lunch. So if you're doing that, you don't need that excess fuel. So that's a good time to incorporate intermittent fasting. Your first meal of the day will be around lunchtime, and that's gonna be perfectly fine. So that's when I like to incorporate intermittent fasting. So just keep that in mind. The next thing you really gotta do, eliminate fast foods, fried foods, and processed foods. That's gonna be key. And when I say eliminate, I mean basically a lot of guys eat a lot of convenience meals. So you don't like to cook, don't like to prepare, so you just gradually pick up what's around, what's very convenient, and that tends to be more highly processed foods, which not only isn't gonna give you the proper nutrients that you need, but it's actually going to lower testosterone levels due to a lot of the chemicals, estrogenic properties that are in those processed foods. So just eliminate those and incorporate more whole foods, nutrient-dense foods, and meal prep, man. Meal prep if you can. Everyone can, but if you gotta make sure you prioritize it, because you can make even only 10 meals on a weekend. Make 10 meals just to have them readily available. So just try to make some meals, have them ready, healthy meals, a good protein source, a good complex carb source, and a good veggie. For those days you're working out. If it's the day you're not working out, just a good protein source. Have some fresh veggies laying around. That way you can have some veggies with that protein on the days that you are off from your weight training. So those things will be crucial. Eliminating the sugary drinks. A lot of guys, sodas or even Powerades, all right, that aren't 0 calories, then they're loaded with sugars. Powerades, Gatorades, all those are gonna be loaded with sugars. So eliminate the sugary drinks. Another thing, don't snack at night. A lot of guys do really well from the moment they wake up till late evening. Doing great, they ate everything perfect, they got their workout in for the day, but they're hanging out at night, and that's a convenient time to pick up a snack. And it can even be a handful of nuts. But the problem with a handful of nuts is they're very dense in calories. So you're adding a lot more fats than you realize, and then you're going to bed right after. So at the end of the day, just try eliminating those snacks altogether. If you want something sweet, get you a whey protein drink or something like that. Drink a whey protein drink and find a flavor of your choice, a flavor that you like to crave, and just drink that. That way you're getting your 25 grams of protein, but you're not actually getting the excess fats and excess calories that you don't need. All right, last tip, make this a lifestyle, man, all right? Don't make something so difficult that you don't want to sustain it. By incorporating the carb cycling, that's actually pretty simple. It's simple to maintain. So if you want carbs, just go work out that day. Eat your carbs, all right? And also, if it's a special occasion, an event, birthday party, wedding, anniversary, anything like that, man, go ahead and enjoy yourself. As long as you're doing everything necessary 90% of the time, even 80% of the time, then it's okay to add some of those days in, some of those meals, a little bit of wine here and there, whatever you want to do, as long as you're really prioritizing everything else. Doing that is going to help you maintain a lean body, a healthy body, and a confident mind. With that said, let me know if you have any questions about this video, man. And other than that, get busy, get after it, and God bless.